Hello and welcome to this episode of the Work in Progress podcast. I am your host, Colleta Macharia, and I'm very delighted that you could join me today. How do you consume your food? That was a question that took me aback as I was having a conversation with a nutritionist following my medical check last year. As I mentioned in a previous episode, when I did my annual check last year, my blood sugar numbers were not good at all. And so part of that check included debriefing with a nutritionist. And the truth is that is not a conversation that I was looking forward to having, because I thought that it was going to be all about counting calories, eat this, don't eat that, cut out this. And I wasn't very keen to hear all that because I had tried some of those things before and they had not worked for me. Thankfully, that is not what the conversation was about. The nutritionist was very keen to hear my activities, like she asked me to describe my activities in a typical week, what I eat, how I eat it, when I eat it. And then she went ahead and complimented the positive aspects of my habits. And then she gave me this game-changing advice. She said, when you sit down to eat your food, consume your vegetables first, and then work your way to the protein and to the carbohydrates. And I wondered about this because it's not something I had paid attention to. There are times that I would start by eating salads. Other times I would just go straight to the protein, to the meat especially. And if there's chapati on the menu, then that would be my first stop. But what she helped me understand is that because vegetables have a low glycemic index, they slow down the absorption of sugars from other components of the food, hence regulating the blood sugar. And that, I say, was a game changer because when I started to implement it, I saw the difference. Not only with regards to my blood sugar, but also with regards to the weight outcomes that I had been seeking. And I realized that when I consume those vegetables first, it helps me to consume less of the carbohydrates. And so the more I saw positive results, the more I was encouraged and motivated to make this a lifestyle. And then I asked myself, where else could I benefit from getting expert help or from getting more information that would be helpful in this process? And one of the things that I decided to do was engage a running coach. And so I signed up for a 14-week training journey with a running expert. And this helped me to learn, to get some tips and tricks that helped me to build my stamina, my resilience, and my endurance, and even to run without exhausting myself. And by the end of the 14 weeks, I could run 10K nonstop. For me, that was no mean feat. And it's something that I had not done before. And so I now incorporated this into my process. And it's been such a joy and a pleasure to just continue building my strength and even challenging myself to increase, to move from those 10K to 11 to 12. And who knows, soon it will be half a marathon. That's a dream that I have. And so what this process helped me to realize is that ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is a miss, because by not engaging expert help, then I was missing out on all these benefits that have accrued to me since I decided to get rid of my ignorance, so to speak. And so here is the question for you. Where in your process, in your journey of achieving the outcomes that you are seeking for yourself, could you benefit from engaging expert help? Remember in a previous episode, I talked about the unholy alliance of the 3 I's of indiscipline, ignorance, and inconsistency. And I don't know what it is for you, but for me, it turns out that by having a compelling why and engaging expert help to help me fill in the knowledge gaps and building the skills that were lacking before, I was able now to build in the discipline and the consistency that is necessary for me to achieve the outcomes that I'm seeking with regard to my health. And so I would like to invite you to consider your situation. In which areas would you benefit from getting expert help to fill in your knowledge gaps, to build in your skill, and even to understand your situation better, your environment, or even your self-awareness? So I invite you to consider that. And then once you have your intention, you have your compelling why, you have determined the outcomes that you are seeking, and you have put yourself in that situation to get the information and build the skills that you need, it's now time to determine the actions that you would like to take and then build a system of habits around it. That way, you will build your consistency and then work towards achieving the outcomes that you seek. There's a quote I like that is attributed to an American motivational speaker known as W. Clement Stone, and this is what it says: "Little hinges swing great doors." What doors are you looking to swing in the year 2024 and beyond? It doesn't have to take huge leaps or big actions or big steps. It could be just a series of little steps that you need to take, the so-called little hinges to help swing those doors. I wish you a fantastic week. Keep shining, and see you on the next episode. The Work in Progress podcast is brought to you by Cogent Afrique. Visit www.cogentafrique.com to check out learning and development opportunities for you, your team, organization, and family.